want you to imagine this as like a little journey into space with a mission. So let's begin with countdown. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, ignition. So we blasted off into a different solar system and landed in planet Blore, home of basic space knowledge. You ask the aliens, what is space? They respond to you that space is the boundless three-dimensional area of celestial objects in which all matter exists. It has nowhere to scatter the light. No wonder it's so dark in planet Blore. And space would be the continuous extension in all directions in which matter exists. So, how did space even get here, let alone what it is? It appears that space came from the Big Bang. And this is how it actually started. It actually started as a singularity point. And somehow that singularity point exploded, which is the Big Bang. And all that matter shot out in all directions, and it developed into what is now known our universe. What is astronomy anyway? Astronomy is one of the oldest branches in science, which means it's really old. And it studies extraterrestrial things on and outside Earth. And it involves such as like asteroids and aliens. There's a lot more, but if I list it, it could take too long. And it also studies natural objects like planets, moons, solar systems, galaxies, and more. And it involves lots of technology, which is I'm going to get to in a minute or two. So I guess we got enough information on planet Blore. Let's move on to the next planet. Now I guess we ended up in planet Gruel, home of early technology knowledge. So you do know a little bit, but you not taking your chances to make not untrue facts. So you just ask the pencil scribbling numbers there. The little pencil, what can you tell me about early technology? The pencil responds that one of the oldest technology is the telescope, and Hans Lippershey invented a telescope. Galileo Galilei, which some of you might have heard about, actually did very great things with the telescope, which includes observing space and taking notes on it, and to make great discoveries like the moon is not a perfect glass ball, but a mix of iron and rock, which has a lot of craters where asteroids hit it. So let's move on to the next planet. Let's see about an unknown planet with stranded astronauts, so you want to know about modern technology. They tell you about space probes, satellites, telescopes, robotic devices, and space shuttles. Let's hear a little bit about it. Space probes. Space probes are machines that are used to collect information and data about planets, moons, comets, and asteroids, and a lot more. They're launched into space by rockets or space shuttles, but unlike the rockets and space shuttles, they don't return to Earth. This is not a risk to human beings because they're unpiloted or there's no crew inside of them. So that's good because no human beings would have to risk staying into space without returning home to Earth. And this is a picture of a space probe. Satellites. A satellite is an object that orbits a planet. There are two types of satellites, a natural satellite and an artificial satellite. A natural satellite, such as our moon, is pretty much anything that's actually made by nature, which is naturally orbiting a planet, but an artificial satellite is actually brought into orbit by humans. Artificial satellites are used almost every day. This presentation depends on satellites because this presentation is in the cloud, or it's also using the internet. Satellites, if you want to get a TV show which is composed in someplace, say Asia, the satellite takes the signals from there and it sends it to your home. That is an example. There's many more. A few other examples is if you want to call your best friend, if you want to see the weather channel, if you want to see the weather reports, if it's going to be snowy or sunny. There's a lot more examples. So let's move on. This is a picture of a satellite. Telescopes. A telescope is a tool used to see objects like far away. Say you want to see Mars. You could use a telescope to see Mars close up. You could use the Hubble Space Telescope, although it might take some time to figure out how to use it, or you could just use the telescope you can use at home. Those are pictures of telescopes. The first telescope was made in the 17th century, and it was found in the Netherlands using glass lenses. So robotic devices. These robotic devices are used to assist humans in space travel, such as EVA gloves, robotic arms, and more. They are used to do various jobs in space. Like in one example is a robotic arm that's used to take some gadget or a rover thing and move it onto a planet. Rovers are actually used as robotic devices. So let's learn more about rovers. One of the many tools used in space is a rover. Rovers are actually put onto planets to observe the territory and bring astronauts there. So let's see some pictures of a rover. So this is one picture of a rover from NASA and another picture of a rover on Mars. I guess we collected enough data and information, so let's go home, back to Earth. I hope you enjoyed my presentation. Any questions or comments?
I've never heard of these Planet War, Planet Gru. I've never heard of
Those are just made up.
So it's kind of fun to hear made up planets.
Yeah. Sadvi?
Were there any more important people that learned about space?
Yeah, there are a bunch of astronauts like Valentina Tereshkova, Neil Armstrong, and a lot more like Yuri Gagarin, who was the first human to actually get into space, and Sally Ride, the first American woman in space.
Are there any animals in space or that went to space?
Yeah. Like a dog actually went into space, and a monkey. I don't really know their names.
An ape.
Yeah, monkey.
What got you interested in space exploration and what inspired you to do this presentation?
So, I just like this, I just have this passion for space, and when I heard of this conference thing, I just wanted to share my thoughts and ideas. So I just pretty much got inspired by my idea to become like part of NASA when I get like an adult.
What part of NASA would you want to be involved in?
I want to be involved in like designing stuff and pretty much like helping the engineers with their materials and how they could actually build it. Something.
Well, what you're saying is you want to be an aeronautical engineer?
Yeah. Miss Connor?
I would like to Mrs. Pingle and I would both like to congratulate you on your presentation today. You worked really hard and your delivery was awesome. We learned a lot from you. So congratulations.
Thank you.
Any more questions?
I like that you had like missions. So when you grow up, you want to be what, like aeronautical engineer, space engineer.
Yeah.
So I really liked it, and this is like the beginning of to become one of those. So you did a really good job doing the presentation.
Thanks.
For kids who are also interested in space and want to learn more, what were some of your favorite resources that you went to
Well,
and useful?
some useful things is like NASA.com because they give kids, because there's a section for kids, they give information about their discoveries in a kid-friendly way so they could actually understand what they mean, and they could also give like information to adults and a lot more people. So I think it's important to share discoveries because like if you want to, like Dr. Seuss said, the more you know, the more places you'd go. So I just got inspired by
Now, what are the resources that you looked at?
Yeah.
NASA.org, BrainPop, you tell us.
yeah, Brain Pop, and yeah, I used some of my schema too.
Good job.
Okay.
Yeah, so I also got inspired by a lot more things.
I know on the website, honey, on NASA, that isn't there a kids club that you can
Yeah.
actually join? Did you join that club?
I don't know because I don't know if I should actually because I didn't get more information on it.
In which year did the first astronaut go into space?
To be honest, I really forgot that point.
1956.
Can you tell us about your presentation using Prezi and how long it took you,
So-
or challenges you ran into with that?
So actually, I pretty much like ran into Prezi because like I just saw this. I was just looking for presentation tips. Then I just saw Prezi. Then I like tried it out. So how I moved the circles, Prezi actually does that, and it's actually pretty easy.
You want to show here?
Show how to do it.
Yeah, quick.
that would
Yeah,
be good.
Sure.
definitely.
Yeah.
So, Prezi is a Google slide. It's not like a slide actually. It's like this unlimited space where you could add more circles. So if you move to the next slide, that's what I call it, it actually zooms into the circles no matter the size. You could actually zoom out, so this is my actual layout.
Oh, that's a lot of
So,
So you can add a slide and you can.
so in Prezi, it's easy to move things around. You just have to get it at the right size to move it. I mean, if it's like too small, you can't move it, and and if it's too big, you can't move it. So you have to get adjusted to the right size if you want to move it to a different position. And
So you can show how to add a slide and all that.
Yeah.
you could, so there's this circle thing in the corner with a plus sign in the middle. You just drag it, and then if you want to move it ahead of something, you could just move it down if it's not there yet, and move it up if it's higher, and then you could just drag it into a spot like that.
Can you show us editing a Prezi cell?
Editing it,
Yeah,
so if you want to edit it, you have to actually click on it. And if you want to actually give the circle a title, you just have to click it and the text box appears, and you could adjust it with the size, the color, the font. So it can be pretty easy. So it could actually be easy to use Prezi even if you're new to it.
Did you have to have an account?
Yeah.
You had to create an account
Yeah, you have to create online.
with email?
Yeah, with email.
So my dad went to lynda.com and there's actually they actually have a video to show how to use Prezi. So if you go to the insert, there's symbols and shapes. They're like stickers. They're like drag and drop. You could just click on them to delete them. You could add videos, images, and you could even draw stuff.
Rishika, can you import from elsewhere besides the images they provide? You know, if you want to use a photograph,
Yeah,
for example.
so if you want to get it, you have to click image, and
Okay.
then you could actually search for it.
Search for it, or you can select files.
Okay. But you could use your own photograph
Yeah,
too.
we can use
Go to your
Yeah.
desktop or wherever
So
files.
they provide you,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
a problem is that, like, sometimes they give up this thing that says the file is not supported. So you have to pick a different image, which
Yeah.
is something I just wish they'd give all the rocket pictures available, because they saw some
And not
really,
tease you, huh?
because they saw really good pictures, but their file isn't
You couldn't
supported.
use them, yeah.
Can you actually do any image, for example, when you see if you can probably search dragon or something?
Dragon?
Yeah, because I just want to know if you can actually search anything.
Yeah, well, if the image is available on the web, yeah, you could get it. So if it's available on the web, you could get the image, and if the file is supported, you could actually put it in there.
Oh.
So for other kids who might be interested in putting together a presentation like this or presenting at a SIG conference, how much time and work did you put into preparing for your presentation so they know how to?
It took me like an hour each day, but if you work at it all at once, I think it would take like 5 or 6 hours.
So you work on it for about 5 days a week?
Yeah. Because it's really easy to get images on there, because they provide images and you could actually get them on the web, and they actually provide a lot of fonts, and you can actually do effects on the pictures.
Oh, that's very nice.
Oh, wow. How many of you today are thinking, if you've never presented before, how many of you are thinking, well, maybe next year will be the year that I present? Good. Sometimes the first year it's good to just check it out, see what it's all about.
Sunday, you noticed like this year
That seems like a science room.
It is a science.
Yeah, we're in the science lab. We met the teacher yesterday.
Well, if there's no other questions, we can keep demonstrating Prezi, but they do ask that we stay in the room until the end of the session. So we have probably about 8 more minutes left in the room, and we can have just kind of a free little time. If you have more questions about space, please ask them. Anything else you'd like to wrap up with?
Yeah.
Actually, if you don't want to frame, you could actually delete it. It's easy as deleting any of these images.
So you want to talk something about your code.org?
Yeah, so I was also planning to do like coding. So about the code.org, I did hour of code in my class at code.org. I wanted to do more at home, so I actually did hour of code at home 5 times, so it's actually 5 hours of code. So I actually made 5 games. I think one of them was Star Wars and the rest of them were Flappy Bird games. So
You want to show it?
yeah, I got it in my class wiki, so yes, I pretty much have to get it from there. So on my page, I have 5 games. This is one of them. So this is actually my first Flappy Bird game. So if you click how it works, you could see how it works actually. So instead of actual code, you use drag and drop blocks. And if you actually want to customize it, they provide you with some scenes. So you could actually change it.
Is there somewhere you can click to see the actual code, what the actual code would look like?
I really didn't see
You
anything
didn't see
like
it?
that. I tried to see it, but I really don't think there is.
No, you saw the JavaScript code. You remember?
I don't think it was in Flappy Bird. I think it was in something else. So
Yeah.
yeah, you could actually use these to customize it.
Once you've made your game, how do you share it with your teacher so they're able to put it on the website or use it?
So if you want to put it like on your wiki or any website, you just copy it. You just go to the website. And then you actually paste it. So there's your game link. So do you want me to show you actually all the games?
Sure.
You want to show how you coded it? Another?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is my Star Wars game. So if you get the Stormtrooper, you lose. I just don't get it, how you actually get, you win. So, but I actually did like that. So, this is how my code actually looks.
Thank you.
So, in Star Wars, it actually shows the code. But if you want to use the same blocks again, you just like click show blocks. So these were my So this is my only Star Wars game. The rest I'm sure they're Flappy Bird games. I did different versions.
Rishika, can I interrupt you for a moment?
Yeah.
So I know you said you did a total of 5 hours at code, but tell everybody where you did your first hour.
My first hour, it was like at school I tried, but
With Mrs.
yeah.
Pingle.
Yeah. It was actually a half an hour, but I tried it, but it really didn't work because it seemed a little too hard. Like,
Did you say that you made mostly Flappy Bird games?
yeah.
I have a ton on my app, and I want to ask you if you have downloaded, if you made any of these. Did you download Flappy's Back?
Huh?
Did
I
you-
don't
did you-
actually play Flappy Bird games. I just pretty much have the hobby to make them.
Did you make Flappy's Back?
I don't know what that
I
is.
think most of her games are available online through like the code.org link. I don't think they're available through the App Store.
Yeah.
Are they? Is it? Did you?
Yes.
Have? Is it just called Flappy Bird?
If you go on code.org, they have links to different ones that
But
walk you
which
through it.
one? But what are they?
It's
What
not
are
an
yours
app.
called?
It's not an app.
Huh?
It's not an app. She made it herself.
It's
She didn't put it in
actually
the app.
It's in code.org.
it's actually not an app. It's in code.org because it wasn't actually made and put.
Yes, she doesn't know about that app at all. She never played it on iPad or something.
I played it, but I just stopped playing it somehow.
Okay.